for you. You're part way done, so you just have a little bit more, and it's due Friday. Okay, so you guys
I can do it on today.
are awesome.
I can do it on today.
All right. And you guys have a Kahoot that is in your Google Classroom. And 4 of you have turned in your Kahoot.
Mrs. Palmer, what's Mr. Gilger's email?
After class.
Oh.
Bernadette, Jack, Grace, and Olympia already turned in their Kahoot. Okay, so I have half of them. I just need the other half by Friday. And you guys also have your math test to turn in by Friday.
Mrs. Palmer, the test, it didn't really show me my score. It didn't have an option.
I set it up like that, Pia, because I want to go through and score it by hand. Also, so when I go through and grade them, then I'll send you your score.
Thanks.
Did the test, Pia, did it go okay for you? Did you have any questions?
No, I mean, I read the one thing, and then it came to this part where it said denominator, and then I was like, wait, is that supposed to be numerator? And then I kept going, and then I saw the mistake, so.
Yes.
May I go to the restroom?
Yes, you may. And Jack, Mr. Gilger's email address is just going to be mgilger@stjosephdanville.com.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. So his first initial and his last name, mgilger@stjosephdanville.com. Okay. We are moving ahead into multiplying fractions. We talked about that yesterday and about how awesome multiplying fractions is. We don't have to find a common denominator. We don't need to borrow and rename. It's just good fun because you guys already know how to multiply. Right? I'm going to share my screen so I can show you a video on multiplying. So let me just share with you. All right. I think someone has music in the background. If you can mute your mic. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good because my screen has frozen. Right, there it goes. Maybe.
You've probably noticed that we've been talking an awful lot about fractions around here lately. Well, now I'm going to tell you something you can do with fractions that's really easy. No, not juggling fractions. Although that is pretty easy for me. I'm talking about something even easier than that. I'm talking about multiplying fractions.
Mrs. Palmer, our screen is frozen. We can't really see. It's kind of
easier than adding fractions, and that's why we're going to learn it first. The reason it's easier is because fractions are really just division problems, and multiplication and division get along much better than addition and division. Now, since fractions are division, that means if I have the problem 1/4 times 2/3, it's the same as the problem 1 divided by 4 times 2 divided by 3. That means I have both multiplication and division in the same problem. And because they get along so well, that means I can just rearrange our problem to look like this. Now it looks like two multiplication problems that are being divided, and it looks just like a fraction. In fact, if we go ahead and do the multiplications, 1 times 2 equals 2, and 4 times 3 equals 12, then we do have a fraction, and it's the answer to our problem. So what does all this mean? Well, it means that to multiply fractions, all you have to do is multiply the top numbers, and then multiply the bottom numbers, and ta-da! There's your answer. As always, let's see an example or two. Let's try this problem. 2/3 times 4/5. Now we could rewrite the problem like we just saw, but that's not necessary as long as we remember the procedure. First, we know our answer is going to be a fraction, so let's go ahead and write a new fraction line for it. Next, we multiply the top numbers. 2 times 4 equals 8, so 8's the top number of our answer. And last, we multiply the bottom numbers. 3 times 5 equals 15, so 15 is the bottom number of our answer. There we have it. 2 over 3 times 4 over 5 equals 8 over 15. See how easy that was? And fun, too. Even funner than video games. Okay, time for another example. Let's try 6 over 11 times 7 over 8. From our multiplication table, we know that 6 times 7 equals 42. So 42 is the top number of our answer. And on the bottom, we have 11 times 8, which is 88. So 6 over 11 times 7 over 8 equals 42 over 88. Oh, now some of you might see that this answer could be simplified, but we'll save simplifying fractions for another video. All right, let's see one last example. Here it is. 1/2 times 4 over 3 times 3 over 5. Wait a minute, this has 3 fractions multiplied together, and the middle one looks like an improper fraction because its top number is bigger than its bottom number. Does our procedure work for this problem too? Yep. All we have to do is multiply all the top numbers together and then multiply all the bottom numbers together, and we'll have our answer. And this will work no matter how many fractions we have to multiply. So on the top, we have 1 times 4 is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12. And on the bottom, 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 5 is 30. That means our answer is 12 over 30. So there you have it. Multiplying fractions is easy because fractions are just another way of writing division problems. But remember, there's another way to think about fractions. We can also use fractions to represent parts of things, like half a pizza, for instance. But does it make sense to multiply half a pizza by another half? Actually, it does. If you're thinking of fractions as parts of something, then multiplying fractions is really like taking part of another part. For example, here's half a pizza. Now you can see that if I take 1/2 of that half, then I get 1/4 of a pizza. And if we do the multiplication 1/2 times 1/2, you see that we do get 1/4. So that's why you can think of multiplying fractions as taking part of another part. In fact, sometimes, especially in word or story problems, you'll see multiplying fractions written using the word of instead of times. They may ask, what's 3/4 of 2/3? And now you know they just mean, what's 3/4 times 2/3? So, whether you think of fractions as parts of something or as division problems, the procedure for doing the multiplication is exactly the same. Let's do a quick review of what we've learned. Multiplying fractions is even easier than adding fractions. It's easy because order of operations says that we can do the multiplication before the division. The procedure for multiplying fractions is to multiply the top numbers to get the answer's top number and multiply the bottom numbers to get the answer's bottom number. If you think of fractions as parts of something, then multiplying a fraction by another fraction is the same as taking a part of a part. And sometimes, especially in word problems, you might see the word of instead of the word times. Even though multiplying fractions is so easy, it's a good idea to practice. So be sure to do the exercises, and I'll see you next time. Learn more at mathantics.com.
That's actually really easy.
Right? Yes.
Welcome to 3-2 Wonder.
All right. Yeah, so multiplying fractions is a lot easier than adding, even more easier than subtracting fractions. And
mine scratched up a little bit, so I couldn't really hear.
Okay, you really multiply the top numbers, you multiply the bottom numbers. Okay, we always reduce our.
So if it was like 4 over 2, I don't know, and then you would just get 8. That would be the bottom?
if you just multiply, if you have like 1/2 times 1/2, you multiply the numerators. 1 times 1 is 1. And the denominators, 2 times 2 is 4. So your answer would be 1/4. And the other important piece is the word of. We touched on that a little bit yesterday, but you're going to keep seeing that. A lot of times we'll get to algebra and we have to, read a story and write an equation for it. And that is a really important piece where of, because a lot of times people want to divide for some reason when they see of, but of is multiplying, right? I'm going to look for some practice problems, see if we can get that. Maybe we'll get lucky. Games, multiplying fractions. Okay.
Will we have to do this kind of work in our book today?
No, I'm not going to give you homework with this until next week, okay? Because I want you to finish up the test and the Kahoot and also the Sum Dog. And some of you do have it done, but some of you still need to have it done. So I want you to get all of those things done. All right. Try to hit this to play. A lot of times, I don't know if you guys find when you're on Google Meet, it's hard to open up other things, but it's coming. Try it. Okay. Okay, let me start with Jack. What's the answer, Jack?
12/35.
Oh, you won $10. Nice.
Yay, I'm rich.
Okay, we're going up to the next one. Irfan, what's the answer?
So do we just win $10 more each time till we get to $100?
Looks that way.
Oh, what did you say it is, Irfan?
I said it's 2. Wait, it's 2/20. But it says.
All right, so you have to reduce. You have to reduce 2/20, Irfan, because that's not a
it's
choice.
10
So we have to
1/10.
this one 1/10.
Yeah,
Submit. Oh, $20. Okay, Alex, you're up next.
Yeah.
21. Wait. 1/2.
1/2. $30. Grant, number 4.
Money.
Okay. What about this one, Grant?
No, that's the.
Multiply your numerators and then your denominator.
I know, I'm getting 12 over 6, but there's no 12 over 6.
Right. So you have to reduce that. What could you divide both 12 and 6 by?
12.
You can't divide 6 by 12.
6.
Okay. What's 12 divided by 6?
Divided by 6 is 6. No, 2.
2. So that goes on your top. And what's 6 divided by 6 on the bottom? So 6.
Nothing, so it's 2.
Okay, 6 divided by 6 is 1. So 2 over 1 is 2. Let's try it. You won $40. Good. Okay. Let's. I'm going to go to Lily. Lily, number 5.
Number
You
5.
see it? 15 over 2 times 1 over 10? All right.
Yeah. So the bottom will be 20 and
Okay,
the top will be
15 over 20. We have to simplify that. Okay, so what would that reduce to? 15 over 20. Well, can you divide
5
this
over
one?
4.
5 over 4? Oops, not that one. What can you divide 15 and 20 by? What are they doing with that one? Hang on. All right, we'll try it again. So for that one, Lily, we would do 15 and 20, divide them both by 5. So 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 20 divided by 5 is 4. So 3/4, okay?
Oh. I was going to do that one, but
All
then
right.
I thought.
Okay, a couple more questions because I didn't get everyone in, but I don't know. It doesn't want to allow me to play. But you guys can go to that. And that's another thing that you could do.
Can we do them like
That's another thing that you guys can do because I'm not going to give you homework over Easter, but you can get on and do some fraction problems, you know, to practice multiplying fractions. All right. Okay. So let me go to Bernadette. I don't think I heard from Bernadette yet. What would this be? Not sure if they're the same questions we had.
Yes,
Okay.
they are. I remember this question.
All right.
I did this question. Just do the answers up to number 4, up to number 5,
All right.
I guess.
Good plan. All right, Bernadette, you're going to be next. But you're going to get question number 5.
Yeah, it's still not working?
The thing, yeah, it's still, the camera still doesn't seem to be.
We're almost there. Okay. Are you with me, Bernadette?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. All right, I'm going to go to the next one. This will be for you.
That is.
Oh, that was tricky.
So the top number is 168,
Okay.
and the denominator is.
All right. I'm going to show you something, Bernadette, before we go back to this. And actually, I want to show all of you guys this. Okay, here's the problem, right? Okay, Bernadette, take a look at that. I'm going to show you something to make it easier. You can multiply just straight across the numerator and straight across the denominator and then reduce. But we could make it easier, and you're allowed to reduce anything from the top with something from the bottom. Okay, so we have a 7 here in the denominator and a 14 here in the top, and we can reduce those and divide them both by 7s, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Bernadette, we're going to divide 7 by 7. I'm going to cross that out, make it a 1. All right, so everybody, this is just going to kind of show you way even further into our next chapter. And we're going to do 14 divided by 7. All right, Bernadette, what's 14 divided by 7?
2.
Good. All right, we're going to change that into a 2. It's okay to do that. Okay, anything from the top with the bottom. All right, next we have a 12 and a 36 that we could reduce because I could divide those both by 12. All right, I'm going to divide 12 by 12, make that a 1. And I'm going to divide 36 by 12. What's 36 divided by 12, Bernadette?
That is
What times 12 gives me 36?
3.
Good. Okay. Now we just have 1 times 2 at the top.
So that's 2.
Good. And 1 times 3 at the bottom.
3.
Okay. And that's 2/3. If you multiply out those numbers in the beginning and reduce them, you still get 2/3. But if you reduce first, it makes the multiplying a lot easier. So Bernadette said 2/3. And that's it, $60. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to end class so you guys can go to your next class and I can go to mine. But
we can keep on going because this is like our free class.
Mrs. Palmer has geometry.
Oh.
Okay. But you guys can pull that up and do that on your own.
Bye.
Bye.
So the only things you have to do are your sum dog, your Kahoot, and your test. Okay, all by Friday. And have a nice Easter break with your families.
Mrs. Balmer.
Thank
Mark
you.
is done.
Bye, Mr. Palmer.
You're
Have you have a good break.
Show your mic's on.
Mrs. Palmer.
Okay,
When I
Grant,
go to click Mark is done, it says